Jenna Marbles has established herself as the queen of new media.
The undisputed queen of YouTube.
With over 19 million subscribers, more than 3 billion views worldwide, Jenna Marbles is a huge success and continues to grow. But there's something about the Jenna Marbles YouTube channel that you probably don't know. A couple of hidden secrets, uncommon practices, distinct ways of working that perhaps you do not realise when it comes to Jenna Marbles. The Jenna Marbles YouTube channel runs in a very different way to the majority of the other YouTube channels of her size and growth on the platform. And it's never really spoken about, it's never really acknowledged. Are these secret practices of Jenna Marbles the reason that she is so successful? It's probably worth acknowledging at this point that this isn't a negative video. I thought I'd just say that before you head down in the comments. I just kind of wanted to make it dramatic. You know, commentary and expose videos don't have to always be exposing bad things. So let me explain. So number one, Jenna Marbles does not do sponsorships.
I don't do brand deals on my main channel, ever.
Have you noticed this? If you watch a Jenna video, there's never any sponsored, never sponsored by, never any kind of affiliate links, never any promoted posts. There's not. Even though she's at a size now which gives her the option and ability to probably pick who she works with, she could probably determine the right sponsor for her audience and obviously make a lot more money from each individual video from just a simple ad read. She chooses not to do that. She doesn't add mid-rolls throughout her video. If the video is over 10 minutes long, you can add in mid-roll adverts to make more money per video, and it's a significant amount more, but the video has to be over 10 minutes, which pretty much every Jenna Marbles video is. Actually, they're longer, which normally means more mid-roll ads, but she doesn't. She has an ad at the beginning and then that's it. No mid-roll ads added by Jenna, even though the audience would probably accept that. Just as an example, let me show you a couple of print screens of the latest PewDiePie videos. These are all mid-roll ads added by Felix so that the video will make more money. This may seem like a strange one, but when Jenna was first successful, that range and that group of YouTubers had this thing where everyone released books. Everyone was making books. Everyone has made a book. And undoubtedly Jenna would have had offers to do this, but she never did release one. She's very conservative with the amount of merchandise she releases, even though she's got an audience that would absorb any merch that she does release, because they're big fans of her content and her brand. She's not always releasing new t-shirts and new things to sell. Occasionally there has been things, but very little compared to the average YouTuber. She's not releasing constant merch, and this is one that I think the audience kind of wants. They want to be representing Jenna Marbles when they're living their everyday life, but there is not a lot of merch from Jenna in particular to choose from. She doesn't use custom thumbnails or clickbait.
I find it interesting that when you post your YouTube videos, you don't make custom thumbnails, right? You're probably the biggest creator and one of the few people who do that. I love it.
Well, because I always just let it generate one, and then if there's all where my eyes are closed or something's weird, I'll make one. But no, it's not like the title and stuff on there. Now, this might have been frowned upon a couple of years ago, as well as sponsorship deals and maybe adding too many ads in a video. But these days, in 2019 on YouTube, all of these practices are accepted and embraced by the audience. Thumbnails are just part of what YouTube is these days. Clickbaited titles are just part of what the audience comes to expect. But in Jenna's case, the titles are literal and there's no custom thumbnail. So let's compare these practices to one of the latest PewDiePie videos. In the description alone you can see 2 links to 2 separate merch companies, Suki and the channel merch, and then you've got affiliate links with the PewDiePie chair, with the sponsorship link for the Elgato screen, and the game that PewDiePie sells and runs. In the video itself there are promotions for merchandise and there is an advert for the game. It has multiple added mid-roll adverts. Look at Jack's Films. Every video leads towards the sponsorship read at the end.
Today's video is sponsored by NordVPN, which I use every single time I go online.
But these are things that Jenna doesn't do on her incredibly successful main channel. So why is that? Like I said earlier, there is this aspect of when she first blew up, some of these practices were frowned upon, like sponsorship deals and littering your videos with mid-rolls. And personally, I'm not a huge fan of watching a PewDiePie video that's more advert than content, but you kind of accept it these days on YouTube. Everyone is doing sponsorship deals, everyone's selling merch, everyone's got multiple mid-roll ads in their video. So I don't think that's really what it is.
You guys know that I don't do brand deals on my main channel ever, because it feels like a violation of trust to me, because I'm like I'm myself. You know, for me personally, it just feels like stuffing money in my pocket. It feels wrong.
Jenna's built up this trust and this relationship with her community that she values more than money. I think Jenna's a rare example of someone on YouTube in 2019 who doesn't make content to get paid. She gets paid for making content.
Just cannot relate to someone whose goals are like, I want $1 billion. Okay, well then guess what? That kind of person who has no other kind of goals other than being the biggest, the best, the most rich, that says everything I need to know about you.
100%.
Because you are willing to do all of the gross, disgusting things that not all the time, but oftentimes goes into being that.
It is clear that Jenna values her relationship with the community and this trust that she's built over any monetary value that she gets out of this video. Obviously, she profits from YouTube, but she could more than double the amount that she makes in her video. She could make way more by simply adding one more advert in each video, but she chooses not to do that. And I'm not saying these practices are bad practices, they're just kind of what it is to be a YouTuber these days, I guess. And obviously Jenna's making enough to have a decent living. She's got her Twitch channel, Julian makes money, and there's obviously other sources of income that she gets. But it's not about the money. She could make way more money without any reaction, without any negative feedback. But she chooses not to. Her principles are stronger than her thirst for profit, which I don't think you can say about a lot of YouTubers. Politics is a complicated thing on YouTube, and Jenna has a very strong opinion about YouTubers working with politicians.
When all these YouTubers and stuff go to the White House and they meet the president and they do all of that, I'm not saying that it's never okay or right, but I am morally opposed to it, and I always have been. And every time I get invited to do something like that, I really feel from the bottom of my fucking being that it's wrong to do that, because I genuinely believe that they do not care who you are or what you make on YouTube or what you're doing. They want access to the millions of eyeballs that watch you, and to sell your audience on any type of political agenda, in my opinion, feels wrong and is wrong.
This isn't about being that good, great person that she wants you to think she is. This is a moral principle that she puts on herself. You look at people like Mark and Jack, and I love them, but their brand is nice guys. Jenna could make this her brand and people would love it. I don't do mid-rolls, I don't do sponsorships, but she doesn't promote it or talk about it. She just doesn't do it. It's a moral principle that she lives by, and it goes unnoticed and unseen by pretty much everyone because people don't recognize good things. I'm sure if she did a negative thing, we'd all jump on it straight away. You may be thinking, why bother pointing this out? And some of you may know this already, but you see, the thing is, like I said at the beginning of the video, commentary videos are often pointing out negative things and scandals and practices that are frowned upon and bad. But this is an extremely uncommon thing in 2019. She could be making way more money, but she chooses not to because of her morals and her relationship with her audience. This is something that is kind of unprecedented and so unique in a day where everyone is doing sponsorships, like I said, selling merch, adding more adverts into a video, which is a simple click, but she doesn't do it. And rather than always focusing on the different things that are negative about YouTube channels, I thought it would be a good thing to focus in and give some love to Jenna for doing something that I think is wonderful in the modern day today, where everyone is trying to make money and trying to profit. This clip kind of puts across how I think YouTube should be.
It seemed like so many people were so focused on just numbers and making money and stupid shit like that. And I don't know, I know that I'm not the pinnacle of health and creation and perfection here on YouTube, but I like to think that what we're doing here is we're just having a good time. I know that YouTube has become so much more business oriented in the last year or so, And it's kind of sad. I mean, it's just frustrating, and there's still a lot of great creators out there and a lot of great people with great mindsets who just seek out to entertain people, but I just want you to know that I'm not going to change my content for the sake of getting clicks and driving people here.
When you do get someone like Jenna, who runs such an amazing channel with great entertaining content, with these morals and under this philosophy, I think it should be noticed and appreciated. As far as I know, I think Jenna is probably the biggest and best example of someone this size who has been able to maintain her values and these kind of values. It's unheard of today, with people like Jake Paul and Logan Paul changing the game on YouTube, showing that you can make so much more with a couple things. Everyone's just picked it up and decided to do it. Well, almost everyone. She doesn't flaunt it, it's not discussed. These are just genuinely her values, and she appreciates and treasures and works on this relationship and trust she has with her audience. Even though we as an audience wouldn't have an issue with her changing these values, we should recognise, appreciate and admire the fact that she does stick by them.